Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Well, good morning! Oh, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday of Memorial Day weekend. Man, is this the weather we're going to have for Memorial Day weekend? I was just looking at it. It's going to rain today. It's going to rain tomorrow. It's going to rain Friday. The high temperatures, 58, 57, 63. Saturday, no rain. A high of a lusty 64 and cloudy. Sunday, 67 and cloudy. Monday, 72, cloudy. Anyway, that's what we got. Next week, I think we'll be back to what will be a summer-esque feel. But Memorial Day weekend, which is always the opening of the shore, and 2025, the Summer Gateway is happening. And here's what I bring this up. I bring this up because, in the words of Paulie from Goodfellas, it's going to be a good summer. Yes, it will. The Fighting Phillies, despite losing Jose Alvarado this week, man, they're on display. Like, when the hot weather comes, it's hitting season, Charlie. Hitting season. And, man, last night, first two games at Coors, oh, it's been a party. Festa. Last night, Bryce is hot. You can see it. 3 hits for Bryce, couple doubles. Trey with a couple hits. Stott with 3 hits. Schwarbaum. Kepler with 2 hits. Wow. The bats are alive. And the Fighting Phillies, best record in baseball. I mean, they look good. Luzardo, a lot of pitches early, but really pitches a gem. 6 innings, 10 strikeouts. I love Luzardo. He's kind of my favorite non-wheeler starter. I think Luzardo is my favorite non-wheeler in this rotation. Sanchez's terrific, but I love Luzardo. Luzardo's got great stuff. Ridiculous, wicked stuff. So I'm pumped up. Really pumped up. You know, you're at the point now we just got to figure out a bullpen thing. The Dodgers scuffling. They took them extra innings last night to win. I mean, look around the National League. Strider got shelled his first game back. Look around the National League, man. Phillies are the best team in the National League. They just are. Anyway, big day today as we mourn. It is the death of the Tush Push. We expect later today the NFL to rule that the Tush Push has been outlawed. They will no longer allow players to push their own player. They can only block for him. That's what we all expect. The way the language was written by the Packers. The Packers, stinking Packers, they are our enemy right now. Because the Packers are the ones, oh, look at it, BG. Look at the beautiful Tush Push. I mourned it. Look at it. We're never going to see it again.
I'm very upset. I'm angry. I'm sad. It feels like it's a slight against Philadelphia.
It is.
It's like, come on.
And Green Bay. They're
It's
the
Lombardi. Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Soft.
Wimps.
Soft.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, I'm going to miss you, Tush Push. I always preferred Brotherly Shove.
Brotherly Shove, yeah.
All right? Brotherly Shove was better. Tush, the word Tush, I don't know.
It's
a creepy word.
Tony Romo is the one who really went to town with the Tush Push.
Because he's a Tush kind of guy.
Yeah, he said Tushy.
Yeah, like, I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. Brotherly Shove.
When my quarterback goes hut, I want hands on the butt. Brotherly Shove, man. All right in there. It's ridiculous they're taking away from us.
I know.
Ridiculous.
I'm so sad.
It just feels like you can't do it right after the Super Bowl. It's sour grapes. It's sore losers.
Yes.
You got to wait a year.
Of all teams like Green Bay, you should be ashamed.
I can't even believe that when this place started how many years ago, that you would never think it'd become an issue that the league would ban it.
We got to
So
find
ridiculous.
a relative of Lombardi. There's got to be a Lombardi relative. And how do you feel?
Yeah, your organization.
You're the snitch. You're the rat.
And you know, I've read grumblings on Twitter that they're the rat because they don't have an ownership. They don't have a figurehead. So you can't really blame. They're like a communal group, right? The shareholders. So there's no real devil that we can attack. It's just this faceless organization.
It's really the league.
The league, yeah. Putting the Packers up to it.
For me, it's always been about the league, right?
Yes.
The league uses the teams as puppets.
Absolutely.
And the league, what the league wants, the league gets,
Mhm.
right? And there's owners that are whispering in Goodell's ear because he does their bidding.
Yes.
Right? So, I mean, you like this play? This play's ugly. This play's not football. This play's it's an ugly. It's aesthetically not good. Oh, and there's going to be injuries. You know there are going to be injuries. Like
You
all
know
that
there's gonna be
stuff
injuries.
is being whispered. No data on any injuries, right?
This is a league who ignored head trauma data
Exactly.
for 30 years.
Yeah, you
and there's
can't-
no data here, but they have to go preemptive on it.
Right. You can't give me that.
Get out
It's
of here
the
with
minute-
these guys.
The minute they do the player safety,
Yeah.
is the minute you go, oh, stop.
Right.
Right? Because they know that that's the magic bullet. That ends the conversation.
Of course.
Player safety. End of story. Meanwhile, you're going to add an 18th game.
Right.
Okay.
They need to be playing
Okay.
player safety. Let's throw them out in those like hamster bubbles.
Right.
They run around and
Right.
we'll do it like that. They're really
Yeah.
worried about player safety.
Yeah. Come on now. Come on. Are you kidding me? This is
It's
all
like
ridiculous.
it's just so. Why is it's just us too? No other team, no other franchise. It's such a Philly thing, man. Like it's hard not to feel like we're targets all the time.
I know. Yeah, I got one fear. It's a major football fear.
Related to the tush.
It's in an end around way.
All right.
In an end around way. It has to do with player safety.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the ultimate way to create a violent hitting game with zero harm to human beings? There you go.
A video game.
Close.
Yeah.
The players are robots.
Oh, that's what we're getting to?
I read a story
What?
yesterday. Yes. I read a story yesterday that, these robots now are like, they're amazing.
Like
What
those Fox football robots we're going to see?
What you could do. Like with these robots, like people have these robots, they can do anything.
Yeah.
Clean the house,
Yeah, right.
all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
they're
right?
going to take care of us
They
all
went
when
from
we're
like
old.
a little, like a thing of, who was that? Jetsons.
Yeah.
Like they had the maid,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, what was her name? Damn.
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah, I remember Jetsons' maid.
Brianna has no idea what the Jetsons. You do?
Yeah, I know them. I watched them when I was a kid.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, good. What was
On
the?
Boomerang. Come on.
Oh, all right. I like
Yeah.
it. Joe, you know the Jetsons?
Rosie.
Rosie.
Rosie!
Oh, yeah,
Rosie
you got it,
was
you got
their
it.
maid.
I'm sure you didn't watch them. Rosie's the
housekeeper.
Right. So Rosie was like a computer thing, and she had wore a
little
maid.
wheels on her
Yeah.
feet.
She had a maid outfit on,
Yeah,
right?
yes. Apron.
So, which is great, right? So that was the rudimentary robot.
She got an apron on. She doesn't want to stain her metal.
So I saw these.
Wear
I saw
an
these
apron.
robots, right? And it's unbelievable how human they look.
Oh,
Now,
so they're going to look like human players.
they're going to look like people,
Like cyborgs, like a Terminator or
right?
something.
But they're going to be dressed. They're
Well,
going
how do you get any advantage? Some robots are better than others.
I have no idea, dude. I don't know. All I know is I went, oh my God. I do not want to be around.
I can't imagine
for that.
The
For the
union,
all
the union
robot
would stand
league.
for that. Maybe it would have to be a robot made in a player's likeness,
Right. In other words, I can
a
see
simulated player.
Right, you could see here's the Baldy robot.
Yes.
Right? Playing guard.
Oh man, you could sign old heads out of like
Right.
Hall of Famers.
Dude, I read this whole story. All that, really, they'll have Mahomes. Everybody will have a
You know,
quarterback.
Night Train Lane, you
like
can grab.
they'll draft like Montana.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the Marino robot.
Oh, dude, I might be in on that. If they're programmed with the skills of the old heads, we could get some old
That's
time.
that's what they're saying.
I might be in on this.
No,
I might. That sounds pretty exciting. Just for games of like the old timers.
Listen,
Cogswell Cogs.
Who's-
That's K-Red.
K-Red. You
Paul
rule, K-Red.
came out Cogswell Cogs.
Oh, it's fabulous. That's fabulous.
Spacely Sprockets.
Oh my
Cuz
god.
was a Spacely Sprockets guy. He hated Cogswell Cogs.
I like sprockets. Sprockets. I mean, this is what we're talking about, dude. This is a possibility. It's a story I read yesterday.
Man.
What's Todd? TV Todd. Look, the Jetsons played football. Oh my God. Can we play this on YouTube? Are we allowed to do that or we get fined? No, hold on. TV Todd sent it to me. All right. I'll send it your way. That's unbelievable. This is, they saw the future. The Jetsons predicted the future. Joey, go watch the Jetsons. You'll learn about the future. Yeah, they do too. You can find the producer. I mean, you can find the future in these cartoons. All right, I sent it over to you. That's classic. No, but I saw this. I was like, oh God. And it's all about player safety.
Right.
And you know how they're going to do it because this is the genius, right? They save all the labor costs.
The players' union would have to just shut it down. There's no way that can happen.
Yeah, but they could create their own league. What's going to happen? They're going to create a robot league, right? It's not going to happen like overnight. They're going to create a robot league. And then once they create the robot league, right, it will rival the NFL. They'll do the same things like you just said, like the Marino bot, right? Like it'll be all, and they'll have this thing. And slowly, the robots and the humans will play together. It'll be
you can't have robots play humans.
And the next thing you know, it'll be all robots and humans are out.
I don't like that. I like the old timers coming back for some games,
dude. This is what it is. We're going to get overthrown.
I mean, it's going to be an.
All right, this is the future.
Wait a minute, robots don't cheat. There's no holding or anything.
Oh my God, this is terrible. This is terrible, Joey.
Let me just say, I got some quotes here. Vince Lombardi, battles are won in the hearts of men. Not complaining. This is the squad. We run to win, not to just be in the race. Mental toughness is Spartanism with qualities of sacrifice.
Spartanism. Yeah. Spartanism, breathe.
Come on, man. This guy would be embarrassed by his franchise.
Yeah. He would be.
Yeah, this is a joke.
Green Bay.
He'd be all about the Tush Push. He'd probably be doing it 4 times in a row.
Field, the frozen tundra. Nah, get out. It's all fraud.
All fraud.
All fraud.
Show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser, Vince Lombardi.
That's fabulous, man. I love it. I love it. That is fantastic. I love that.
Here's a good one. The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Dude,
and this is the franchise that's whining over a tush push, a brotherly show.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. All right, well, we have to do this. We coming up, Mike Garafolo later on. We'll talk about the death of Brotherly Shove.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
Oh, we have a coordinator. We're all in black. We're in mourning.
Yes, yeah. You saw yesterday. You know what's weird? The Eagles didn't release many details about the Nick contract.
No length, no years.
Could it be like a 2-year extension?
No.
I think it's a 2-year extension.
Out of here. They can't just his agent would have to be in malpractice at that point. Coming up with Super Bowl?
I think it's a 2-year extension.
This has got to be a 5-year, $50 million contract. It has to be.
I do not think that's the case.
That's an insult.
I think it's 2 years.
It's doing my man dirty then.
I think it's 2 years.
2 years.
That's my guess. 2 years, maybe
so
not.
They don't have to divulge this at all to the league or anything. They could just keep this all in house.
Yeah, but they don't need to. They
don't have to make this public
to announce it. No.
Wow.
It'll come out, but we'll talk to Mike about that.
You think
later.
eventually we'll know the details?
Yeah. We'll talk to Mike about that. We'll talk to Bo about that too. The great Bo Wulf will join us coming up in 5 minutes. Then we get the brain. But the Fightins last night, is that awesome?
I mean, it's awesome. I'm trying to
The Rockies are stink. Yeah.
It's the Rockies. I'm trying to contain.
Yeah, but I enjoy that.
But
I don't know about
it's
you.
good to see them smashing up on the bad teams. So many times we've had years where like they struggle against the likes of the Marlins and stuff. It's like, they're just mashing the Rockies right now. Dude.
Yeah, but don't you enjoy that? Like, I
Yes.
like a mash.
Yeah, of course. I don't want to sweat with this team.
I was looking forward to this stretch.
Mhm.
All right, because it's funny. Like I'm a stat nerd. Like I like I like the gaudy numbers.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking forward to this stretch. They're gonna have another one today with Colorado, and then you go to Oakland, Sacramento.
They do. Do they have 2 more Colorado? Is it 4
Two
with
more. Yeah,
Colorado?
it's a 4 game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got 3 at Sacramento.
Yes.
So there's gonna be a lot of big numbers.
Sacramento.
Man. Hey, Bree, I sent you that ticket. So this is Tush. This is terrible. Tush says, I got a ticket. And he texts me, he goes, it's plus 13,000. All right? Then this is a bad beat. All right? He's got Kepler 2+ total bases.
Wow, that's a goal. That's a bold bet.
He's got Harper 2+ total bases. Turner 2+ total bases.
Wow.
A Schwarbaum and the Phillies -3.5. All right?
Oh my God.
All right, look at that. $10 pays $1,300.
Oh my God.
All right, it's 7-1 going into the ninth inning.
He's playing it out one heck of a Memorial Day weekend.
I mean,
have some
tell me
fun.
this is just not fair.
No, that's terrible. The Phillies should pay him back.
Tush is going to New Orleans this weekend with my cousin. They're
Nice.
going out. Yeah, they're going. What a great trip, right?
Yeah,
You
with
have you get $1,300 to go with.
extra grand in your pocket for fun money.
Oh my
New-
God!
Yeah.
So, Mom, I feel horrible. 2 outs, right? It's 7-3. Well, no. Yeah, 7-3. He's still in it.
Right.
It's 2 outs. And then McMahon hits a single to croak him.
The big man is stunk all year, too.
I mean, that's not fair.
And the fact that
Poor Tush.
Moniak was involved in all that, too. Oh,
I mean, that's terrible. Moniak, really? That's stiff.
Moniak's still...
Mickey Moniak.
Moniak crosses the plate and Tush loses.
I mean, that sucks, doesn't it?
Horrible bet.
Isn't that a horrible
beat?
That could be one of the worst beats ever.
I would totally agree. Totally. I would be losing my mind.
Dude,
I would hate Lazar.
Yeah.
I would hate that
Not
guy.
to mention, the Phillies threatening the top of the ninth. They
Yeah,
could
but-
have tacked on runs.
Yeah, but dude, you're like 7-1. You're feeling good.
I know. But they had first and
7-2.
third in the top of the ninth. Like, there was a million ways he should have won that bet.
Oh, man, that's a sign. He needs to take a couple days off. That's
I
bad.
felt so bad for him. That's an awful beat.
Yeah, dude, I would have that money spent already.
Bree, isn't that terrible?
Yeah, that's why you bet again.
I like Bree.
That's why you bet again.
So
great.
close. That close.
I mean, that's terrible. That's a
heinous.
horrible beat.
Yeah, that's
He's going away, him and his wife. How nice.
nice.
You go to a nice restaurant. I mean,
Yeah.
You're living.
Tons of nice stuff to do in New
Ah,
Orleans.
that's a shame.
Yeah,
That's
it
just
blows.
that's a shame. All right, lots to get to between the Birds and the Fightins, and of course the playoffs last night. OKC all over Minnesota.
Yeah, I think we know that's going to happen, right?
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought that.
Before I forget, this is an interesting stat I saw yesterday. First inning runs scored in baseball. They moved Schwarber out of the leadoff. You're worried about first inning runs scored.
Okay.
Phillies are second in baseball. Dodgers have 43. The Phillies have 37. So not a huge drop. I mean, how much better could they have been with Schwarber being the number 1 hitter?
That's actually a great.
Yeah, that's a day old. So the Phillies put up 3 yesterday, so they're at 37. So they're second place now.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, it was
That's-
way better than I expected.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's talk about some of our friends. So we'll start with the Bet PARX. Speaking of the first runs, I was laughing. The Brain will come back. And Brain's been on a heater. He's on fire. But yesterday he gave out. I was thinking about it because you guys have this contest.
Yeah.
The no runs in the first inning.
I actually
And the
thought it was a
first-
good bet, too.
And the first, so did I. It was Scooble's pitching,
Yeah.
and Fetty had been pitching well, and Carpenter hits a first pitch bomb, croak him early. And I was laughing.
That's
I
amazing.
texted you. I was like, "Oh man, that's a tough one."
That is a tough one.
Well, you can bet all this stuff. The Braves on fire, so look, check out.
I
all
mean,
the-
I'm 5-0 the last two days. I mean,
Are you really?
Yeah, I had 3-0 last night.
You had 3-0 piece.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
doing all right.
All right, well, you can play all that stuff on the PARX Sportsbook online casino app. Where are the Phillies tonight?
Minus 245 with Taiwan Walker on the mound.
Wow, 245 with Taiwan.
You want to give him the run line? You still got to lay 167.
With Taiwan?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a hard pass on that one.
Oh, yeah? I might go to 2 run line, 2.5.
What's the total of the game? 10 and a half?
Total is 11.5.
I may take that. I think you should take the over there.
Taiwan strikeouts, 3.5. I think you get 4 strikeouts.
You can get 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get 4.
I mean, I think they're going to let him sit out there for a while. It's not like,
yeah, with this bullpen, like, no, you go out, he'll have 6 innings,
yeah,
5 innings.
even if he gives up
Unless
5
he
runs.
gives
he's
up
gonna-
right. Well, check out the PARX Sportsbook online casino app for all your fun when it comes to sports, all the playoffs, and Knicks Pacers tonight. And then, of course, there's always another way to win on the app with the great casino games. Like you got live dealer blackjack and live dealer roulette, craps, baccarat, you name it. It's right there. Plus all the slots, which are just plenty of them. Your favorite is?
Well, I'm playing Rich Little Piggy's meal ticket, and I'm excited. I saw this morning there's a new Terminator one. I haven't played yet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Down with the Terminator.
All right, there you go. You can check it out. BetParks.com for all details. Like you get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's talk about Ashley.
Yeah, spring is here. Flowers and trees are blooming. And guess what? Low prices are blooming over at Ashley Furniture. So why not spring into some savings at Ashley? You can save up to 50% off living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, and have it all delivered for free. Plus, you get long-term no-interest financing. You can also save on top brand mattresses. I feel like Memorial Day is a big mattress sales day. Everyone's Memorial Day mattresses. So you can save on top brand mattresses at Ashley and get free delivery setup and the all-important removal. But don't wait. Spring into savings only lasting so long. So stop over at Ashley, South Jersey and Philadelphia stores now. Financing was with approved credit. Minimum purchase is required. Some exclusions do apply, but see the store for complete details. So hurry over to an Ashley in South Jersey, Philadelphia, or you can always visit them at ashleyfurniture.com.
All right, Ashley. All right, joining us from the All PHLY Bird Show. Always a lot of fun. Our good buddy, Bo Wulf. Good morning, Bo.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
What's up, Bo?
Good, buddy. We're in black today because
I was gonna ask you, should we have a proper funeral
Yes.
for the Tush push?
Everyone just give some words in memorial about the Tush with the brotherly shove.
Yeah, I always hated the name Tush Push. I'm anti-Tush.
Yes.
Do you like brotherly shove though? That feels too cute to me as well.
Nah,
I
I like a good shove.
I think the word shove
Yeah.
is better.
Yeah.
Better than Tush.
Bo,
Yeah, what I don't like about brotherly shove is that it was too like focus grouped in marketing. It was like the Eagles themselves in the building didn't like Tush Push like you didn't, and they were like, okay, how can we make this kind of cool? And then they got in a room,
Agreed.
they brainstormed
Listen,
it,
it's
and they
got
go,
some
brotherly
Madison
shove.
Avenue in it. It's got Madison
Yeah.
Ave in it, but still better than Tush Push. Like Tush Push is Tony Romo.
Well, here's a question for you, cuz we know that this is all happening because for whatever reason, Roger Goodell just doesn't like this play.
Correct.
Right? And we can get into how silly that is. I really liked the way that AJ Brown put it yesterday. Like, it's 1 yard. Like, why are we so concerned about this play that is about 1 yard? But I do wonder if part of Roger's hesitation or distaste for the play is just the word tush. It's just he doesn't like them saying the word tush on the broadcast.
Wow. You think that that's a possibility?
I think that
just
could be part of it.
I think he hates
Not in my league. We don't talk about butts in the NFL.
Well, I mean, he could lobby me if he just to say we're tired of hearing Tony Romo say tush push and tushy pushy. Yeah, then I might get on board with banning it, but I don't know. But this just seems like they're just out to get us. They have to get Philly.
It's so silly. I think we have talked about this before, but at this point, it does feel like I kind of like this for the Eagles because when you're coming off the Super Bowl, there's not really any kind of nobody believes in us. Like you have to sort of change your mindset, right? And you have to be self-motivated, which I think Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are really good at. But now to have won the Super Bowl and the immediate offseason after, the league is changing a rule because you are too good at something. All of a sudden, you get to sort of strap in and be us against them again and be like, okay, we got to go prove to everybody that we're the best team, regardless of this play that we ran at most twice a game and everybody's making way too big of a deal out of.
I love that. That's genius.
That is, you took the word out of my mouth. That's freaking genius.
Yep.
That is a genius take right there. Genius take. I love it as a rallying cry. Whole world's against us. Whole world doesn't want us to win. Cheating to make us not win. They're amending the rule book against us. Bro, genius, Bo. And you know what? It's going to work. They're going to repeat because they took the tush push away.
I think it works for the fans too, right? Like I think after you win the Super Bowl, you have a little bit less juice, right? It feels like early on in the season, especially, like okay, the stakes are a little bit lower. Now it's like okay, well, when the first time that there's a 4th and 1 and Jalen Hurts doesn't get pushed and still gets 3 yards on the play, the crowd is going to erupt.
Do it for the tush. That's like the rallying cry. Do it for the tush.
Dude, I love it. I freaking I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love it. I just think it's genius. I do. I think it's genius.
Yep.
I do like it remains so silly to me that like the biggest topic NFL wide this offseason has been this play.
Right.
This play that like is not that important. And there is at most a very marginal difference between how effective the Eagles are at this play, whether they're pushing or not, right? Like if they're not pushing, guess what? They're still going to be one of the better short yardage teams in the NFL next season. And you look at the numbers. I was just pulling it up while I was waiting to come on the show. Like for 1 or 2 yards to go, 3rd and 4th down over the past 3 years. Over the course of those 3 years, the Eagles are the best in the NFL, 73%, which is not like, we're not talking like 95% of the time the Eagles are getting it. It's still 3 out of 4. And it hasn't been like last year, they were the 9th best team in the NFL, just 70%. So they're getting a little bit less effective at it. Like if you want to say that the Frankie Louvu situation in the NFL championship game, in NFC championship game was untoward. I mean, that's on them. That's on the Commanders. Like that's not the Eagles' fault. I cannot remember like such a whiny, we can't stop this rule change. It's so silly to a thing that everybody can do. It's like, it would be like college basketball outlawing the dunk because Lou Alcindor was too good at it. Like,
yes.
What are we doing?
Yes. Dude, you're spot on. Spot on with this whole thing.
I find it deeply pathetic.
I agree. It just is so weak.
Then there's the Green Bay thing.
Yeah.
Well, and have you seen this? That like the theory? I don't remember if this was from Diana Rossini, who has been all over this and has said essentially like this is going to pass today. But there was a theory that the reason it's the Packers is because no owner wanted to be the one to put their name on it themselves. But I mean, Mark Murphy, that is going to be on your in your epitaph. I feel like as far as Philadelphia is concerned. This guy who's on his way out and he's making this his cause celeb. But it really does feel like this is a Roger push. And I find it like, again, pathetic, just deeply pathetic that like the influence that Roger wants to exert on the league is this rule change. It's so silly.
Dude, you're right. It's freaking Green Bay, too. It's the Packers. It's
the frozen tundra.
I know. It's all that stuff. It's unbelievable.
It's not the push. It's Jalen. Like, remember when they had to run it with Kenny Pickett last year and they didn't get it? Like, you can't outlaw a quarterback from having a really strong lower body.
And by the way, seriously, they're going to go back to doing sneaks and they're going to be just as successful.
Yeah, you remember how good Carson Wentz was at quarterback sneaks?
Yeah.
In the beginning of his
He
career.
had a strong lower half, and it's
stout. It's the offensive line. They practice it a lot. They rep it a lot. And Sirianni gets a lot of credit for it too because they practice it more than anybody else. Like, I just are you gonna? You can't just pick out these little things that teams are good at. That they don't even run that often. Like, okay, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes is not allowed to throw the ball outside of the pocket anymore. Like, it's like, what are we doing?
Right. Tom Brady's success rate was 92% on the QB sneak. No talk about outlawing it.
Exactly.
I mean, it was automatic with him.
Right. You're going to outlaw the whole entire sneak play?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Hey, switching gears for a second. The Eagles have been quiet about the Sirianni contract. What's your read? Like, what are you hearing about that contract?
To be fair, that this is their usual operating procedure. They don't like to get into specifics of coach contracts, and the reason for that is because they don't want there to be focus on, if he's in the last year of his deal, this is a lame duck or whatever it is. But it stands in contrast a little bit, and Zach Berman did a really good job of reminding me about this yesterday, that after the Super Bowl with Doug, when they extended him, like they called a press conference that night with Jeffrey Lurie.
Right.
And they announced that, the timeline with Doug and Howie was the same, Howie had been extended as well. We haven't heard that this time around. I don't know if that is just like they know that Nick is a person who was under scrutiny to begin with and they don't want to invite that scrutiny, or if it says something about the way that Jeffrey feels about Sirianni. It was funny yesterday because both AJ Brown and Jordan Mailata were like asking the reporters for details about the contract themselves. AJ's like, how long is it? Jordan's like, how much money is he getting? It is true that, the league as a whole does not, they're not forthright with coach contract stuff, which I do think is a little bit hypocritical and unfair. But I don't know. I feel like, the way that I would frame it is, as we talked about with Zach, coach contracts, unlike like free agency contracts, you're getting paid for what you accomplished, not for what we think you can do in the future.
So it's interesting because, like you nail it. When you have a deal that you're proud of, you leak it. Like I've been on that side of it, where I would get the contract. Like they would give you the contract because they want it out there. I suspect that it's I think the years, like I'll say 2+ an option.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
Like maybe it's, well, you had 1 year left, right? So if you add a 2-year extension, he's good for 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. That's what I think it is.
That's interesting. That wouldn't shock me. And that makes a little bit of sense. And that would explain why you don't announce it's a 5-year contract, right?
Right. Otherwise, I think they're all about it. If they gave him a 5-year deal, I think it's out there. I don't think it's a 5-year deal.
Yeah. Here's my other take is I don't think that like timeline of coach contracts matter that much because the coach is trying to win now.
Right.
Always. That is his job. Whereas a general manager, it matters what your contract length is because if you're on the last year of your deal, then you're going to be willing to sacrifice future assets to make the team look better now so that you can get paid again and get extended again. So I think it matters a little bit less there. And maybe if you're Sirianni, you're thinking, okay, well, if I can continue to be successful, when this contract comes out, I'll get paid again. But I would agree with you that the lack of any reporting about it from around the league and that the usual insiders probably does tell you that it's underwhelming to some degree.
I'm amazed at this. Do you find that? I don't know. I find it shocking, disrespectful. If he's ever going to have leverage to get paid and some years, it's going to be now. Like, why would he sign a 2 years underpaid extension?
Well, what if it was something, VG, where it's like, and this is purely speculative, but okay, which would you rather give and take? Would you rather get paid a little bit more per year, but have less, certainty that you're going to be here for 5 years? Or would you rather take the guaranteed 4 or 5 years and a little bit less per year? It could be something
I
like that.
feel like if I'm Nick, I bet on myself. And I'll be like, all right, we'll just do it. We'll do 1 year as a lame duck. We'll see. I'll win double-digit games again, and I'll go find another gig.
Wow, would you really? Would you play that card?
I mean, that feels like that's what Nick would do. And why wouldn't you? Like, with this talent and this team, he's going to win 12 games this year at least.
Yeah,
And
but you're in a great spot.
You can't be a lame duck. You can't go into and have no certainty. This is a man with a family. They want to have some
I
kind
mean,
of,
we're talking.
he
He's a man with a
likes
family,
here.
but he's made some millions. It's not like he's going to be out of a job. He's going to find a job. I don't know.
I also think, but to the point though, and the reason that I think you take the years is because however long Nick Sirianni is under contract for is not going to stop Jeffrey Lurie from making a change if he wants to. You know what I mean? Like he could have an 8-year deal, and if in 2029, the Eagles are down in the dumps, Jeffrey's going to make a change and he's going to be willing to pay that off.
Yeah, I'm just shocked. I guess I'm more impressed by Doug. Doug was just like, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing what you want. Screw it. And he got another gig.
Maybe it goes back to Howie's analogy of the first time that you have sex and the second time you have sex. Maybe you're a little bit less smitten the second time.
Yeah, that was funny. This hot off the press is from Schefter. Lions withdrew their playoff reseeding proposal.
What?
For today?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that means it wasn't going to get the votes, and they don't want it to get voted on if it's not going to pass. But I was kind of hoping that one would pass.
Yeah, so you were pro reseeding, even if it meant not getting a home playoff game by a division winner.
Yes. For a few reasons that the professor Deniz explained to us. One is it makes, and probably the most important from the league standpoint, it makes week 17 and 18 much more competitive. There are many fewer dead games. For instance, like, the Texans last year were locked into the 4 seed for like 3 weeks and could just rest people. You avoid that possibility. And yeah, I think you should be guaranteed a playoff spot if you win a terrible division and you're, 7-10 or whatever, or 8-9 or whatever it is, but you're still the best team in your division. I don't think that if you are 8-9 and you're playing a team that was, 13-4 but second in their division, that you should be guaranteed that home game.
What do you think?
I like the reseed. I was hoping to see the reseed because I just don't want an 8-9 team division winner having an advantage over a team that won 12 games.
Yeah, I get
that. And I think the pitch was also any tie in the standings there goes to the division winner. It's not like that doesn't go to tiebreaker stuff, which I also think is correct.
So, what do you expect out of any of these meetings? Anything else happen other than the tush push?
I think it really does feel like that's the league's number one priority, right? Get rid of the tush push, which is so silly. But I think those were the only 2 things being voted on. Like, I could be wrong about that.
I also say what's stuck in my craw is like, you submitted your proposal. The fact that they can reword it and rechange it a day or 2 before the vote, that's lame. Wait till next year. Your proposal is
and
your
proposal.
proposal.
And the wording in it is very wonky. There's like, you could interpret it that like you're not allowed to double team somebody on a running play.
Right.
Like,
it's not our fault. You write a bad proposal. That's the proposal. Resubmit one next year. I don't know. This feels dirty. Dirty against us.
It does feel, but that brings us back to Bo's point.
Yeah, which I'm all about.
I love the rallying cry.
Yes.
Bo, I think it's genius. I think they should have that. I think that everybody should have that kind of mentality that the league is against us and we're going to just do the brotherly shove right up your gigi.
Yes.
Now, what would your really petty rule proposal be in response?
Oh, there's a good one in the chat. We got Steve in the chat. Says that
I saw a good suggestion from NFL Gimpy. Yeah,
potential injuries on the Lambeau leap. The
Yes,
Lambeau
no,
leap.
players. Yeah, I think you should
because of
propose that
potential
players are
injuries.
not allowed to jump in the stands anymore.
I
It's a
love
fan
it.
safety issue.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Take that, Pack.
Yes. That should be
Go,
the proposal.
Pack. Go to hell.
That's got to have hamstring injuries potentially with that leap.
Yeah.
You gotta in the stands. Like God only knows, you have some crazy people in the stands.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Who knows?
nobody should be diving in the stands.
Player safety, fan safety. Yeah, we
Yes.
gotta get rid of this.
Yeah. Yeah, Lambeau Leap out.
Yes.
Bye-bye, Lambeau Leap.
Yes.
No, that's great. No, that's the truth. I can't believe it. But to your point, let me ask you a question, because I was shocked that Buffalo was behind the banning too. Why, when you have Josh Allen and you run it as much as they did, why in the world would you be against it?
Yeah. One thing I have heard, and I take this with a huge grain of salt, but one thing I have heard is that there is some evidence is not even the right word, but some thought that the way that the tush push is run is potentially inviting catastrophic injury, because the guy is bent over, and if he's being shoved and then he gets a neck injury, like that could be really bad. And it would be to a quarterback, which is the league's worst nightmare. And that's part of potentially Rodgers bristling about it. But I don't know, you talk to the Eagles, you talk about from a quarterback standpoint, it's a relatively safe play. Like, he's much more likely to get hurt outside the pocket or something like that,
right,
than in that massive humanity. But that is a theory that I have heard, that there was concern about like a slightly higher percentage of a catastrophic injury, and it would be happening to a quarterback.
I mean, all right. All right, let's switch gears for a second. So we did the schedule show last week.
That was fun.
It was a blast. I loved it.
Do that again.
You and Dak, it was great. So you had some time to digest it. How do you feel about the schedule now?
I think I feel about the same. The difficulty of the schedule is in the opponents. I actually think it's laid out pretty well for the Eagles. They got a couple, nice little advantages on the West Coast teams coming east for those 1:00 games. There's no road trips, really. It's all sort of staccato, home road. And I still remain baffled by both the Giants and Commanders happening twice in 3 weeks, especially the Commanders game. But I think it's, if the team is as good as we think it will be, there will probably be, a few losses more than last year because the teams are better and there are no patsies on the schedule. But if the team is as good as we think it is, they will be able to overcome that and still win the division.
So their over-under is 11.5. I got to be honest with you.
That's high.
Really? You think so? I think 12-5.
It's a high over-under. Yeah.
I think 12-5 is easily doable.
No doubt. Easily doable, for sure. But, a couple injuries here or there, that are coming. You get a couple losses. All of a sudden, you're 10-7, 11-6, still going to the playoffs, and you feel okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
11-5 is the highest in football. They're tied with the Bills, I think. Right?
11.5.
11.5, not 11.5.
11.5. Buffalo, the Eagles, Kansas
Chiefs
City,
are 11.5.
and Baltimore are all at 11.5. I mean, I don't know.
I got them 14-3.
I think the Chiefs would be on there.
Got them at 14-3.
Yeah.
I just think it is hard to maintain that level of success and consistency over the course of a season for 2 years in a row. And I think what you're hoping is, which we see with defending champions in a lot of different sports, is that maybe the regular season itself is not quite as good as you were hoping, but what you want is this team can round into form when it matters and be at its full capability in January.
Yeah. The Cowboys are 7.5. 7.5.
I'm really surprised by that.
And I go, because the one thing, you and I differed on did you think Dallas was the second place team?
I do, and we're away from consensus on that. But it's more that I'm fading Washington than believing in Dallas.
Yeah, I guess what shocked me was the amount of national games by the Cowboys.
When we did that exercise on the show the other night, we kept going through it. It's Cowboys Chiefs every week.
Cowboys Chiefs Lions. I still can't believe the Eagles got only one Sunday night game and one Monday night game.
Yeah, that was very surprising. Those they've still got those standalone games, but those have much less cachet than
Exactly.
Sunday, especially.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to feel attacked in this town.
Well, that's the reason why I bring this up is tush push.
Yeah.
And then you don't put us in, you don't put us in prime time. A lot of 1 o'clock games. They act like we're not the Super Bowl champs.
Right.
I'm surprised the Eagles still lead off the season.
By a bunch. It wasn't like a fluke game.
This is very Philly. We got to find a way to make sure that we still feel attacked. I think that's very important. That's right.
It's the truth. Since freaking 1776, the world has been against Philadelphia.
Roger sitting up there in his ivory tower in Park Avenue, looking past Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
They took the capital away from us. They never give us any respect. All right. It's time. I say we secede.
Oh, yeah. We secede.
I want to secede. I want the whole region, like from you go to Harrisburg West?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be as far
as in that area.
Yeah.
All right.
Or we organize a march from Philadelphia to Park Avenue. We'll all bring torches and pitchforks.
Yeah.
Let's get as big of a crowd as we can get, and let's get Roger's head on a spike.
Right, and tushes.
Yeah.
Roger. I love it, Bo. We're there. Let's do it. I love it. Let's organize. All right.
That's organized.
My man, you're the best. What do you got cooking today?
On with Zach at 2 o'clock. We're going to be talking. We'll hopefully have the resolution on the Tush Push to unpack that, and then we're also going to focus on all the newcomers this year. There are fewer than last year. Obviously, we saw the impact that Saquon and Zach Bond and Mekhi Becton made last year. We're going to rank the newcomers this year and figure out who we think is going to make the biggest impact only in 2025.
Yeah. I love it. I'll be all in on it, man. Give me a little tease on what you think.
Well, that's the thing. There are not a lot of free agent additions, not a lot of outside additions. I think you could make a case that, given Jahad Campbell's injury, maybe Andrew Makuba is going to be the guy who has the biggest impact year one. We'll see.
I like it. I like it a lot. I look forward to it. We'll be watching. Bo, great stuff as always, pal.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
It was Bo Wulf, all PHLY Bird Show.
I love it. You got to turn it around. You got to own this and be like, yes, it's us versus them again.
Yeah, man. All right. Joining us, courtesy of PARX Casino and the PARX Sportsbook Casino app, our man, the Brain.
Brain. Red, the Brain Finder.
Hello, Brain. Oh, what is that?
What? What's wrong?
What am I looking at?
What's wrong?
We're looking at a panel. There he is. There's the Brain.
Well, panel could be an improvement, though.
Nah. What do you say, Brain? What do you say, buddy?
Good to see you, man. How are you?
Good. Real good.
Guess where I'm going to be going this afternoon?
You're going. What are you doing?
I'm going to my first, probably last, but my first Miami Marlins baseball game. Meeting a buddy of mine. We're going to see Marlins Cubs.
Oh, that's awesome. A little Marlins Cubs action in the afternoon.
All you can eat, all you can drink. Package like for the ticket. Man, since my wedding, Anthony, unfortunately I've been the calories have been going back on.
It's all right. You deserve it. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm going to today.
Beers and dogs today. What are they known for at Marlins Park?
Probably the what do they call it? Empanadas?
All right.
Yeah, maybe that. I'm guessing.
Okay, you don't know. You've never been to a Marlins game.
Never been. I mean, how many people have?
Wow, but you live like 45 minutes from there, don't you?
No, I don't. No, it's actually closer to 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's that far?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one of my good friends is in town, so he's a huge baseball guy. So we're gonna go there. It'll be fun. I'm what I like about baseball. It's like you could almost like just hang out with your buddy and the game's going on. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's
baseball's
just like
great. I love it. I love my cousin and I go to the game, go to Phillies game, and just sit and drink a beer, eat peanuts, and talk baseball. I love it.
I love the peanuts, man. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to crack them right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Like if they
throw them
weren't,
on the
if you didn't have
ground.
to crack them, you agree with me. If they would just serve like in the planter's bag, I wouldn't like it. But the
Nah.
No,
fact that I
I
have
need
to
to
crack
crack
them,
them. I agree. You're
Gotta
right
crack.
on.
yeah,
I want the
yeah,
shell.
that makes
I
everything.
leave the shell.
I want
Yeah.
the shell.
Yeah.
I want to be covered in
Exactly.
dust.
Yeah.
All over my
Peanut
pants.
covered in
Yeah.
dust.
Yeah.
I
Peanut
agree.
dust,
Exactly
yes.
right. Man, I gotta tell you something. You've ever seen me eat a beignet? I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. There's so much stuff on me afterwards. And with the peanuts, same thing, man. You would think I'm Mr. Peanut. Anyway,
Dude, I think that's spot on, man. That's spot on.
Yeah.
Definitely. I love
looking
that.
forward to it. We good.
My buddy Tush, listen to this bad bet. Bad beat.
Oh,
This is horrible.
yeah.
He had a 13,000 plus 13,000. He put $10 to win 1,300. You ready?
Wow.
He had Harper 2 total bases, Kepler 2 total bases, Turner 2 total bases, a Schwarbaum, and the Phillies minus 3.5.
What was this? Didn't they win, but like 9-4, 9-5?
7-4.
Oh my God! They scored 2 in the 9th.
Yes.
You know what he should have done? He should have live bet on PARX. He should have live bet the Rockies to score, getting like 2.5 to 1 odds.
Oh,
man.
yes. Oh, he could.
And you know what? He
he's
could
the
have won
brain.
both ways. If they scored 1 run, he could have won both ways.
So
That's what he
there
should've
is a
done.
bet. You could bet whether or not they score a run in
Oh
the
yeah,
ninth.
yeah. It would probably have been about plus 250.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I should have. It was funny. He texted me. He's like, "I said you're good." It was 7-1. He had everything.
He could have put $300 in. He could have bet $300 down to win 750, and be like, all right, I either win a G or I win 750. Nothing wrong with that for a $10 bet. It's incredible.
Oh my God! Yes, he
Yeah.
had yes, and it was 7-1 at one point, right?
Yeah.
Like he was living.
Yeah. Luzardo did it again, man. He's been incredible. What a trade.
I'm saying that to
What
I was saying
a
that to
trade.
VG. He's my favorite 9-wheeler starter. I
Yeah, I
love
would agree with that.
Luzardo.
Well, him and Sanchez are close. Yeah, I would agree with that. He's been, if you look at the NL this year, the Phillies have had probably clearly 2 of the best 5, right? I mean, there's the Yamamoto's been great, maybe Skeens, and the 2 the Phillies are. Now you could even argue Sanchez is top 10. So I'm saying that's what's made the Phillies to me so good is the pitching has just been so freaking good. What they're going to do about the bullpen, they're going to have to do something. We'll see when that time comes. But if they just run it out there and saying, all right, we're going to be fine, I already know the answer. They won't be. But I'm assuming they're going to hopefully make some kind of. I think they need to add 3 arms. Forget just 1. I think they need 3. I think they have the worst bullpen maybe in the sport. So I think it's going to be something that's a huge need that they have to find a way to get. I don't know who's available, what they're going to do. But to me, you can't expect to win these close games in the postseason. And it's just, I mean, I just don't think they have enough. I think they really need to add it. I think they need to add 3 arms. So, but if they get that, I think they could be the best team in baseball.
So, do you have Cy Young tickets?
You know, it's funny. I bet before the year Hunter Green, because he was the favorite before he got hurt. And I had him at 30-1. And I bet Logan Gilbert, who was the favorite in the American League before he got hurt. I had him at like 15-1. Those were the 2 guys I bet. And you know, I mean, look, they both got hurt. What am I going to do? But that's why those bets are really, really. Oh, I bet Zach Wheeler. I bet Zach Wheeler at 15-1 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's good.
Small bet.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Any of these Philly starters, like, how would you play them?
It would be
Wheeler's the
Wheeler.
favorite.
It would just be Wheeler. I mean, for
Wheeler's
me,
at plus
it's funny,
300
Anthony,
right
because
now. Skeens is
I got
plus
15
200.
weeks ago.
He's got 15-1.
Like Luzardo
2
is
weeks
still
ago.
20-1. I mean,
But here's the thing, VG and Anthony. Remember last year? And again, I think it's different because I liked Suarez, but I think Luzardo has it in him to have a Cy Young caliber year. I never thought Ranger did. But over 32 starts, it's been what, 8, 9? It's very, very hard. It's like Nick Foles had those 2 good games, but he hasn't had 22. He had 2. The right 2, but you get my point. it's hard to have 32 great games. Zach Wheeler, is going to have 32 great
Oh, froze.
games. Jesus Luzardo.
Now you froze for a minute. So you're
Yeah, I said it's hard. It's hard to get 32 good starts, and that's why I'd say I caution only 25% on the season. So while it is 20-1 odds, very very hard. I think for a guy, it's because he's probably gonna have a couple starts where he maybe gets tattooed, and that ERA goes from 1.98 or whatever it is to 2.62, and then it's before you know it's in the threes. You're like, all right, he has no chance. Just very hard. That's why someone like Wheeler, yeah, he would be my pick. I think he's just an absolute horse, like in the best way. I mean, I think he's incredible.
Basketball last night, we kind of expected that. And even
it's funny. They played them tough for the first, they were up for almost 3 quarters. They were winning the Minnesota. I was like a little nervous, but then, Shea finally had a good burst, so to speak. But that was,
you know what it comes down to, Brad? Minnesota, the only way Minnesota can hang with them is if they make it a half-court game, because that's the only weakness is OKC. Their set offense in the half court.
It's interesting. It's not only is the weakness; they're flat out not good in the half court. It's interesting for a team that historically had the best analytics any team's ever had, the best plus minus in the history of basketball. Think about that. In the history of the sport, they had the best plus minus. Their differential was like plus 14 a game, something crazy, insane, best in the history of the sport. But when you watch them play in these playoffs, Anthony, it's like you're right. It's like man, if this isn't like up and down, whatever, it's like I flat out think I don't even think they're average. And they were losing, Anthony, and they were down by 10. And I looked at the stats. They were like 3 of 9 from 3, and Minnesota was like 10 of like 28. Both were not good percentages, but they were up by 7 or 8 because they were at least shooting threes and not making them, while OKC was shooting twos and not making them, And it's just when they don't get in that, up-tempo kind of thing in transition, they're not that good. I half court, they're really not that good.
They're not good at all, dude. That's a true statement. They're just not good in half court. And that's where
it's interesting.
And then you saw them once they started to run, they got their legs and they were better.
But I'll tell you this, Anthony, and I don't think it was a fluke watching it now. They played the Nuggets twice where the game went down to the end. Overtime, and then they beat them on the last play. Half-court sets at the way end, you know what I mean? More like, okay, who's going to score here? One possession at a time, kind of real. And they lost both. And I will tell you this, live bet on PARX, if they're in a close game, it's like, 3-point game or less with 3 minutes to go, I'll look to bet against them because I think it's going to be hard for this team to score more than any of these other teams. I just don't trust them. I think they're the best team. I think they're going to win the title. I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth, but because I think they'll find a way to have margin in most of these games. But in a close game, I'm actually going to go the other way.
All right. How do you look at tonight's game? Knicks Pacers.
Yeah, the line's sitting 4.5, Anthony. Again, I'm definitely look to live bet it. But again, I think it's maybe a point too high. I thought it should come in maybe 3.5, maybe 3. Lean Indiana. The only way I can look is Indiana. But I would have to be, for me to buy and actually take them, I need to be getting at least 5, and I don't see any 5s out there right now.
I think Indiana wins the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
I think they win the game. Like I look at it and I go, I could smell it, right? Like the crowd, the Knicks, they're all fired up, coming off the big blowout of the Celtics, right? You could see it, garden party. And I could see Indiana, because you and I both think they match up well with them. And I see Indiana come out, and I could see the Knicks kind of folding a little bit early, pressure, and Indiana steals game 1.
Do you think, if I'm curious, you're rooting for Indiana, I assume, or no? Please tell me.
I don't care. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't root for New York or Boston.
I can't root for Boston. The Knicks,
well,
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm a Bridges fan because of Devon, right? Yeah. Local kids. I love Bridges, right?
Yeah.
I love Brunson. I'm a Brunson fan. I think Brunson's terrific. I love Josh Hart. I mean, not just because they're Villanova kids, but I love the way he plays the
The way
game.
he plays, yeah,
You know,
he's-
and quite frankly, I think the Garden's a cool place, right? So
it is. No, it is.
And I still remember Indiana's nasty. I remember Sixers Indiana going to Indiana with during the AI era with Pat, with Croce, and
It was 3-1. They beat them.
they were nasty people, man. They were nasty. I don't like
Really?
those people.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey,
So
listen,
so I'll
respect
be
you.
honest with you. Now I'm not going to be like go Knicks, but if I had to pick,
You go Knicks,
I would rather see New York. Plus, New York OKC's a better. I think have got more allure to it.
More cachet.
Yeah.
More cachet for sure.
But
yeah, no,
think
I hear
Indiana
you on
wins.
that. Yeah, look, I think it's been an interesting series. Prop wise in this, I did bet numbers now gone though. I think, but I did bet TJ McConnell over 5.5 points. I thought that was a tick too low, and OG Anunoby under 2.5 assists. But I'm not going to give that as my official plays anything. But I have 8 official bets today.
You have 8? Oh my God, I love it.
Yes.
All right, real quick
8
before you
pay.
get to your
Remember, 8 is enough?
plays. Before you get
Yes.
to your plays,
Sure.
I can't wait for this hockey game. Stars Edmonton is awesome.
Yeah, it should be great.
That's
should be
an
great.
awesome game.
Yeah, I'm fired up.
Should be goals.
Shit.
Rantanen and
We'll see.
Connor.
Should be
We'll
good.
see. There should be goals, but I don't know.
Oh.
Edmonton's been playing very good defensively.
Yeah, your boy Skinner.
I got to just tell you guys something. Anthony, I shouldn't say this because you're gonna smack me in my face, but I like the Eagles under 11.5. I heard you saying you thought 12 was almost a certainty, man. The schedule, dude. It's a hard schedule. Not easy to win 12 games. You know this.
12.
I know
Not easy
this.
to win 12 games.
I heard it.
Well.
I heard it last year. People talking about their schedule.
Yeah, but what was
Oh,
I
the
don't-
buys
trying to-
early.
Right.
Oh God, there was that Rams Baltimore. It was like it was
Yeah,
the
give them
gauntlet.
credit. They won every game. So I
Yeah.
can't argue. They won literally every game.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
But I mean,
I
just
don't
wanna-
think the
just hear me
schedule's
here.
that hard.
Chiefs on the road. Chiefs
Oh,
on
yeah.
the road.
Chiefs look great in the Super Bowl. And they're just another year older. Come on.
Okay, but I'm saying it's not an easy game. Rams at home, not an easy game. At Buccaneers,
You
not
got
an easy
Rams
game.
at home at
Broncos
1 o'clock.
home,
West
not an
Coast
easy
team.
game.
West Coast teams coming here at 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. do not play well.
At the Vikings, not easy. At the Packers, not easy. Lions at home, not easy.
Brain,
At
when's
Dallas,
the
not
last
easy.
time? When's the last time the Vikings gave the Eagles a hard time? I mean, I can't remember it.
Well, I mean, now you have a Michigan man at quarterback, BG. You're better than that. You know
yeah,
that things are
now we
different
got
now.
a rookie quarterback. Yeah, get out of here.
They play the Bills. They play the Chargers. I just think this, by the way, I think you could argue the Eagles are the best team in the league, but I just think it's a very, very difficult schedule. And it's not easy to go 12-5. It just isn't. I mean, I'm not saying they can't do it. They certainly can, but they were pretty fortunate injury-wise, in my opinion, guys. They didn't really lose many or any. Did they lose any real key players last year for extended periods? I don't remember a ton of it. I mean, they lost Brandon Graham, but again, I wouldn't call him key.
Because they're young, good training staff.
All right. Well, listen. I'm rooting for him.
I'm making a
I'm saying I thought
proclamation.
11.5.
Chat GPT cooler than Breen. Chat GPT's got him 14-3 like I do.
All right, look,
Breen
I
coming on
just
here
thought it
giving
was
us 10-win season. After that postseason
I
performance.
gotta be honest.
Yeah,
I have him
dude,
down for 9.5. I know you. I believe it or not. I bet under 11.
Whoa. You bet the Eagles under what?
11.5, but I think they're going to be closer to 9.5. I think they're going to win 9-10 area.
They're going to go
I don't even have them at
9-8
11.
with this roster.
I have them at 9 or
With
10.
this head
9 or
coach.
10. Yes.
I don't know what to say, dude. I'll be honest with you. I think you're way underrated. Once again, you're not looking at the strength of that squad. And the strength of that squad is a great O-line and a great D-line. And that hasn't changed.
Yeah. I just, again, the only thing I keep saying, though, I do feel like they were very fortunate injury-wise and I know what you're saying, VG, maybe they're young, but I mean, I feel like if they were to lose Saquon, if they were to lose AJ Brown, I think this thing could, being from the best team in football, which they were last year, to closer to just being good. And if you're just good, you're not winning 12 games. That's just my opinion.
Well,
we'll see how it plays out.
And if the
you're
Chiefs,
you're
if the
betting
Chiefs
on
lose
injuries?
Mahomes, and if the Bills lose Josh Allen,
Yes, correct. I'm betting on the fact that I thought they were very fortunate last year, injury-wise. Extremely fortunate. No one wins, Anthony. You know this. Look at what happened to the Lions. The Lions were the best team in football. No, that can't be argued until they had their injuries. No, I don't care. If you argue that, I come on.
And they still
were
won
the best
games.
team.
No, I'm only arguing that the Eagles are a great team.
They couldn't continue it. They could not continue it. They lost 11 starters on defense.
I know.
There was
They
no
lost,
next man
and
up.
they
You
were,
lose your whole team.
they were so good that they were even in. They were in that playoff game against Washington.
Game, but
they were in that game against Washington, and had they not, I think they did a couple stupid things.
They did. They did. Anthony.
Which
we
made
tested that game. They did
because I thought that game was winnable for them.
It was, but I'm just saying it's hard when injuries just go against you. No, I'm not saying the Eagles are going to lose 11 defensive starters like that team did, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
I feel
they still had home field throughout.
Yeah, they did, but they did. But once those injuries really started happening those last 5 weeks of the year, they were giving up like 40 points a game.
Okay, but my point to you is you're talking about win totals. They still had the best record in the NFC.
They did.
They had the 1 seed.
Fair enough. They did.
All those injuries,
You're absolutely right.
and still had the 1 seed.
And you're absolutely right. And I tip my cap to them because I think that's extremely difficult to do. And you're right, they did. And look, the Eagles have high-end talent. They have the best high-end talent in football, right? They have the best running backs, the best receivers, best offensive line. They're great everywhere. There's nothing. It's just, for me, I think it's hard to win. Look, by the way, I'm not betting any team ever over 11.5 wins. I don't care who it is. I'm just not doing it because I think it's hard to win 12 games in this sport. Inherently, I'm looking towards the under because I think it's just hard. I think it's hard. That's why what New England did all those years and Kansas City did all those years, always winning 12 plus. They're the only 2 teams that have really ever done it consistently in the last 40 years. It's hard to do it. That's all I'm saying. They have the talent, of course they do, but I just think it's never easy to win 12 games. That's why the Super Bowl hangover, these teams don't do it usually back to back.
All right, let's go for it. Let's do.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. You lead off, Brain.
Okay, we went 2-1 yesterday. It's funny, Anthony. I was between the under and the Blue Jays game and that Tariq Skubal bet. I picked the wrong one, but still 2-1, not bad. 55 and 45. Anthony, I'm not going to single dip. I'm not going to double dip. I am going to triple dip here, kind of on a play here. We are going to go Hunter Brown, who's been right there as the best pitcher in the world. I'm going to go over 17.5 outs. 19-3 his last 22 starts last year. 8-1 this year. 27-4 his last 31 starts to get 6 innings pitched against a bad Tampa Bay lineup. Sure, sign me up. Hunter Brown over 6.5 strikeouts. 5 straight games of 9+ strikeouts. 7-2 this year against the Tampa Bay team that strikes out a lot. Sure, I'll take it, and I'll take the Astros to win the game. Very reasonable price. Best pitcher in the league right now against Tampa Bay team. Taj Bradley has not been pitching well. Triple dipping. I could easily go all 3. They're obviously very correlated. Triple dip.
Triple dip.
Got to do it.
I actually like it. I like all 3 plays. I think you're right.
All right. Coming off a 3-0 night last night, now 30 and 25. I'm going to go.
Nice feature, man.
VG.
Good job, man.
I'm going Buccos. Heaney, I think he could bounce back a little bit against the Reds today. Buccos are plus 107. I'm going to take them against the Reds.
All right.
Well, VG, I'll stick in that game. I think you're definitely at least half right. I bet under 4.5 in that game on the 5-inning line. Haney's been really good all year. Singer's been good. Pirates 29th in runs scored, and Reds, man, I don't trust that lineup even a little bit. I think this game is going to be called 2-1 after 5. Don't trust either bullpen. So give me under 4.5 runs in the Pirates game. I agree. Haney's been pitching well.
I'm going to go to a little Guardians and Twins. Under 7.5 today. I think Gavin Williams on the mound.
Gavin Williams.
He's
I think
decent.
Daily
He's
over?
inconsistent, but I think he has a good game today. And the Twins, Paddock pitching for them.
Oh, it's Paddock. Okay. Well, they won 13 in a row, the Twins. So
Yeah.
we're playing well. But I'm going to go. I like this bet quite a bit. I like this bet really a lot. Yarbrough for the Yankees, who's a mediocre at best pitcher, going against DeGrom, who's pitched like a zillion scoreless innings in a row. I'm all day taking Texas pick'em in the 5-inning line. Again, I'm not going to deal with the bullpens. I'm not going to deal with the lineup that, if the game goes long, favors the Yankees. Over 5 innings, absolutely, I can say death taxes DeGrom wins that game over -110. He will beat Yarbrough for sure. Way more than not. -110, way too low of a number. Give me Texas in the 5-inning line.
All right.
This pick goes out to Shane Beavers in the chat, who's been yapping and yapping about the Stars. Oilers, +107 tonight.
Wow, Edmonton.
The spite
Did you
bet.
say Shane
It's a
Bieber?
spite-
Oil.
Spite bet. Beavers.
Shane Bieber.
Oh, I think you said Shane Bieber.
No,
Or just
Shane
Beavers.
Bieber
I
listens
don't
to
know.
the show. He watches the show.
Oh, I like it. Okay. And he's also a good starter for the Guardians. Okay, we're gonna go. I'll go with a Phillies player right here. Taijuan Walker. I don't love Taijuan Walker, but I don't have to love Taijuan Walker. But what I do love is Colorado leads the league in strikeouts. Taijuan Walker, 3.5 Ks. Look, the guy actually, believe it or not, actually has 31 Ks in 34 innings, which for him is outstanding. Yeah, I'll say he gets 4 strikeouts against the worst strikeout team in the league. Why not?
I love that play because here's the other thing. He's gonna pitch innings. Their bullpen
Yeah,
is shot. They're gonna leave him
yeah.
out there.
I bet over 4.5 hits allowed too for everyone out there. I'm not going to give it as an official one, but I did bet that for the same reason you said, Anthony. I think he'll pitch 6 innings, and as bad as Colorado is, I think they'll get 5 hits off him. But I like their strikeout bet better.
Yeah, I'm done. I got 3. That's it.
Okay, I got
You get 3, he
I
has
got
8.
yeah, I got 8. I got an 8-pack. Corbin Burns, 8-pack. Corbin Burns over 15.5 outs. 26-5 last year. 6-2 this year. Dodgers are good, yeah, but Burns is pitching well. This is a bet that should win 2 out of 3 times comfortably. Like this bet very, very much. Excellent value. And I'll give you one more. We're gonna go Tyler McGill, New York Mets. We're gonna go over 5.5 Ks against a team that also strikes out in the top 3, the Boston Red Sox. McGill 6-3 to that over this year. It's funny, I bet him against the Yankees last game. He had 4 after 2 innings, walked like 5 in a row in the 3rd innings, didn't get out of it. I lost the bet. I'm going back to him because I think that he will pitch more innings today. And so again, triple dip in the Astros game, Rangers 5-inning line, Tyler McGill over 5.5 Ks, Taijuan Walker for 3.5 Ks, and Corbin Burns over 15.5 outs.
I like it. I like it. Good stuff, buddy.
And here's a little, you might
Appreciate
like this.
you,
You
man.
might like this stat, Brain. Kyle Schwarber, fewest hits needed to reach 300 career Major League Baseball home runs. He got 300 home
That's
runs.
a cool stat.
He got 300 home runs on 949 hits. Mark McGwire needed 978 hits. Aaron Judge needed 988 hits. Killebrew needed 1,026 hits, and Adam
What
Dunn
about
needed
Dave Kingman?
1,027.
No, what about Dave Kingman?
I don't know.
He didn't. Remember
Must-
Anthony Dave Kingman?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Dave
yeah.
Kingman.
But he
yeah.
didn't. He wasn't. Did he have 500 home? No, he didn't. Did he have 500 home?
Nah, I
Dave
don't
Kingman.
think so.
No, he's not a 500.
But he was like a 200 hitter.
Right.
I would have thought he would have gotten there based off not many hits.
Right.
I'm curious on that. Dave Cam, I don't know how to even look that up. But but that is a pretty cool stat. That is a pretty cool stat.
Yep.
I like that.
That is a good stat.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
All right.
All right, Brain. Great work as always.
Appreciate you both.
A lot of fun.
All right, guys, be
Appreciate
good.
it. The Brain brought to us by the PARX Casino, Street Road, Ben Salem, and the PARX Sportsbook online app. Let's talk about PARX Casino and the great acts coming your way at PARX Casino. This is how you win. PARX Casino. Here we go. Tickets on sale now. The classic rock band, Kansas, headlines the Excite Center Saturday, October 4th.
Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Don't you? Comedian Joey Diaz, August 23rd, PARX Casino. Our casino of choice has it all: action, excitement, headline entertainment, thousands of hot slots, state-of-the-art sportsbook, beautiful poker room, all-weather beer garden, collection of award-winning restaurants. PARX Casino, this is how you win. Tickets on sale now. You got May 30th, Ashley McBride.
Never wanted to be that girl. Never wanted to hate myself.
June 6th, Taj Mahal Kept Mo.
Woke up this morning, my mind had them Statesboro blues.
July 3rd, Gary Clark Jr.
Here come on, let the heat come, move it up slowly.
I love that. July 12th, comedian Mark Norman. July 18th, KC and the Sunshine Band.
Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Woo, get down tonight.
September 6th, UB40.
Red, red wine.
How about UB40 coming up in the Baldy story?
Right?
That was nuts. Comedian Russell Peters, September 27th. What else we got? Australian Pink Floyd, September 20th.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain.
Don't forget dinner and drinks before the show. Libertyville Gastro Pub, Parks and Beer Garden, Parks Grill Steakhouse, Bamboo Noodle House, Chickies and Pete's. ParksCasino.com to buy tickets for all shows. Parks Casino, this is how you win. You got to be 21. Any gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Also, let me tell you about all our good friends at Cherry Hill Kia. All right? You're looking for amazing deals. Super low lease payments. Kia of CherryHill.com. That's the place. That's Bill. All right? My boy Billy. Go see him. They're celebrating Memorial Day savings all month long. All right? Massive selection of over 450 new Kias to choose from. They have over 40 Tellurides, over 100 Sportages, over 35 Carnivals, over 75 Celtos, and over 80 Souls.
Yeah, give me a soul.
You want the soul.
I do like the soul. I like the boxy soul.
You should. You're a boxy,
Yeah. I like the
soul
box car.
kind of guy.
Yeah, man.
You're a soulful guy.
Love a good soul.
Yeah, I like it. I got to tell you, Kia is the hottest automotive brand in the country for a reason. 7 of their models received 2025 Car and Driver Editor's Choice Awards. It's amazing, considering there are 450 models tested and only 20 models industry-wide received that award. All right? Kia is rolling,
Super
man.
impressive.
I mean, they got 7 and 20. That's ridiculous. Combine that with the best warranty in the automotive business. 10 years, 100,000-mile powertrain. 5 years, 60,000-mile bumper to bumper. You got to go to Kia of Cherry Hill. There's only one place to buy the Kia. Kia at Cherry Hill.
Yeah.
Stop there, they tell them I sent you. And here's the deal. They'll give you a $100 restaurant.com gift card, so they're going to feed you, all right, just to take a test drive. But even more important, they're going to take care of you, all right? They're going to hook you up with a great deal. Trust me. They'll hook you up with your trade-in. They'll hook you up with a deal. And you got to tell them I sent you. Because I told Bill, whoever comes in from PHLY, you got to take care of them, all right? We have an allotment. It comes back to the word. Like, you got to take care of them.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. I know people buy Kias elsewhere. I just don't know why. You're talking about Kia of Cherry Hill.
Right over the bridge.
Folk Auto Group.
Right there, right over the bridge.
Charlie Folk.
Yeah.
It's my man. That's right. Drive home your new Kia today. Minutes, like you said, from all the bridges. Available 24/7. Kia of CherryHill.com. All right. Now, I can't wait for our next guest because
I want to hear his take.
Mike Garafolo is not only the best NFL reporter, like insider, he's the best. Obviously, he's from here, but he has a good national take. All right. So I trust his instincts with this stuff. He looks at it down the middle, but he also is from here. All right. So he's got good sensibilities. Like, you know, it's not coming from a place of malice.
Yes. Yeah, he's
That
one
makes sense.
of us, but he's objective.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's welcome him to the program. Our buddy, the great Mike Garafolo. Michael.
But you know what? That hold on before we get to that. When you and Greg are going through the, Kansas and UB40 and he said, and there's like he would sing a little sample. Reminded me. Remember those commercials for like the compilation CDs?
Oh yeah,
Like,
the K-Tel.
During The Price is Right or something, and they kind of. And Kansas, dust in the wind. That's exactly what that reminds me. It took me back to the 90s there, bro.
Yes, that's right. I used to like those commercials.
Oh yeah, man. I think they were K-Tel Records would have the compilations.
Yeah, they were fun.
And then they got now that's what I call music later on.
Wasn't it like a record club?
Oh, I love the Columbia House Record
That's
Club.
it, Columbia.
You get like 13 cassettes for a dime and a penny, and then you got to spend like 35 hours each for the next. Got to buy 8 more in 2 years.
You got 20 first for a penny.
Yeah, and then the records just keep showing up.
Yeah.
He's got to mail
But it
back
was-
the card on time.
So there was Columbia House, and then there was another one. Oh God, what was the other one? And the other one would intentionally send you the wrong discs. Like like not even close, not even in the same genre. I would get some kind of hardcore hip hop. I was looking for, rock or whatever. And I think they were banking on, well, they'll never send them back. You sent them to the wrong guy on this one. I would send them all back until I got what I want.
It might have been BMG. I think BMG competed with Columbia
For
House.
some wasn't I was thinking FHM, but wasn't that a magazine, FHM?
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
Or him
FHM
monthly,
was a
FHM,
magazine.
yeah.
That's right.
There's all this stuff that
For him.
we don't need it anymore, but it's
Yes,
still
yeah,
on
yeah.
there.
FHM. I think I wrote for all those magazines. FHM, Details. Like I used to remember Details
listen,
magazine.
Yeah, I like details.
I'd rather have you writing than being their babe of the month.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to it. Today is a sad day across Philadelphia as we mourn the death of the Tush
Maybe.
Push.
Maybe we'll see.
Oh.
You're saying there's a chance?
Until they flatline it, until they call time of death. I love that Jason Kelsey came in as I posted on. We're not there, so it's a home game for Pellicero, so he got to be there. Judy Batista went. Ian and I are hanging at home here today, so we're doing this from afar, and it helps to be there and you see people coming and going because anybody can ignore your call and push you to voicemail, but if you see them in the hallway, it's hard to get by. So we're kind of sort of leaning on them a little bit to get the information to pass it back. So the Jason Kelsey appearance, which he had mentioned apparently on New Heights that he was going to go, I think is quite the interesting wrinkle. I called it a WWE style of, by God, that's Jason Kelsey's music, him showing up at the meeting there. So maybe that'll sway some minds, or maybe it'll push it off for a little bit. The problem is there's no more push. No pun intended. But in March, it's like, well, we'll push it to May. We'll take care of it then. There's no other meet. I mean, you can always call a special meeting. You don't have theoretically could do this remotely, but this is the last meeting before the start of the season. They don't reconvene as a group again until the fall when the season already begins. So this is the time where if you were going to make a rule change, you would make it right now. So, I think it's completely bogus that they've pinned this as a health thing when there's no health data to back it up. Kelsey is going to be there to tell them exactly what he said on New Heights, which is that if he knew he only had to run a tush push 80 times a game, he would come out of retirement right now, to show that it's not anything that he's concerned from a health and safety standpoint. So I think it's bogus, but I think that at least did get some people momentum. They also rewrote it to say, well, it's not just this play, it's any pushing and pulling anywhere on the field, which should help some people vote for it. So, I think it's going to be a sad day. Fitfully raining today where I am. I'm sure it's raining down there and not so great. So I think it's bogus, man.
Mike, did you hear any credence? Jimmy Kemsky down here said that in March the Bills co-owner reported that Kelsey retired because of the tush push.
I didn't. No, I didn't hear that was. I mean, case in point, he's there to tell them that that's not true.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear anything to that end. He retired because he was looking to transition to his next career. It certainly took a lot out of him the last couple of years to get ready and play through some of the things. I mean, he had the elbow the one year, he had a knee thing, he had a couple of knee things, if I recall correctly. But the tush push itself is not much movement. And from his standpoint, pretty safe, because I know it looks maybe to those on the outside that it looks a certain way, but it's not really that strain on the neck and the back like they're talking about. And I just, to me, I said once they labeled it a health and safety issue, I knew they were in trouble. The Eagles and the play was in trouble. Yeah, because if you don't then take it out of the game and then somebody does suffer a catastrophic injury, say, well, you guys knew it was a health and safety issue, and you didn't vote it out, so here come my lawyers. I think that they knew what they were doing when they took it down that road.
Yeah, they completely manipulated that. How do you reconcile the fact the Lions withdrew their reseeding for the playoffs?
Yeah, I thought that had a chance because of how much momentum it got in March. Usually the stuff's batted down. Now, I think in the end, the purists who still value winning the division, which winning the division was still going to get you in the playoffs. It was going to serve as a tiebreaker. It was going to be the first tiebreaker if you had two teams with the same record. You give it to the division winner. So there was still going to be value in it. I think as written, it was probably the best way to pass it through the people who are the gatekeepers of winning your division still matters. I don't know why they just didn't get enough to withdraw that. Now, I don't think that this is the end of that. So to me this morning as this came, I said, well, what do they need? Like in the case of the tush push, they need an injury to say, hey, I told you it's a safety issue. Get it off the. In the case of this, I would think that they would need what they already had last year, which was the Vikings at 14 wins or whatever, being a wild card team playing on the road. Which I still think it's interesting that the team that then raised this was their divisional rivals, the Lions. But I guess the Lions just saw it for what it was, and saying, well, we could be on the other side of that just as quickly as they were this year. I thought it had momentum. I think it will come up again, and I think a lot of things are going to change. Not a lot of things. Some things are going to change when we get to 18 games, and perhaps this is going to be one of them.
When does that come to play? The 18 games
within the next couple of years.
Yeah, I keep wondering. They don't have to wait until the CBA expires, right?
No, I mean they did it. They did it with. I mean, you could always rewrite everything and
right.
And you don't have to wait until the end of the CBA to enact a rule change as long as the NFLPA is on board.
Right.
And the NFLPA, the new regime, which we don't know enough about. Lloyd Howell said, "Well, that's not." He came out strongly against it. I believe it's a negotiating tactic. I believe it's something he knows is coming. I believe it's something that they want to get some stuff in return for, and they want to cut the best deal they possibly can. But in the end, you wave a bag of money in front of the player's face, just like they did for 17. And the players are going to say,
yeah.
Which, when does that stop, right? Because then it's 19 will be that much more, and 20 will be that much more. Like, when are we stopping? We're adding a 7th playoff team because one more playoff game is worth $500 million or whatever it was. 18 is at the tipping point. It feels like too much. 16 felt perfect. But we're not going backwards, Ant. We're only going to go forward when it comes to the numbers.
Yeah, you're probably right that 20 will be their ultimate goal.
You think so? I only said that. Yeah, 20 is. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, I think 20 is outrageous. Like, I don't think you could play 20 games in a year. I mean, and fair. Playoffs. I mean, I just think you destroy teams. 18 should end there, but
yeah,
I think you're right.
I believe it will. I'm not saying there's going to be 20. I'm just saying when you keep saying like one more game is worth X amount, there's got to be a point.
That's the problem. You nailed it. That's the problem. The problem is when you're selling one-offs, Black Friday games, and you're getting big dollars, I can see them rationalizing and saying, all right, well, 20 is the cutoff. That's the cutoff. And boom, 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 boom. And this is how it's going to look.
Yeah.
But listen, I think it's crazy.
If you ever got to that, I would think and hope that you would have to have a maximum load management. Each individual player can only play 18 games in a season, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I still feel like we should have that now with the 18 and cap them you can't cap them at 16 when you got guys already at 17. It's going to affect record chases. And if you're at 17, you're playing 18. So it's not, we're not going to get that.
Right.
We could get the second bye week at some point.
Well, I think you have to do the second. If you're going to go to 18 games, I think you have to have a first half bye and a second half bye.
So when is the season over? When is the season over?
It's never.
Because now you just added 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
When do you start? Now you got to start on Labor Day, right? You got to move it.
But here's my argument. You have March is a fertile month. Why are you afraid of March?
Just feels wrong.
Why?
Just feels. Forget feels wrong. Like there are a lot of things that we felt like we said uneven records feels wrong, but we're there. We're at 9-8 and 8-9. There are things that I say that like, oh, that feels right. And at some point, so forget the feels. I guess the vague lack of evidence. To me, it's more of a saturation point, right? At what point do you go, fans? It's just white noise. Some of these early season or mid-season games. I do feel like there is a a valley, a trough in the middle of the season, Ant, where the casual fan is starting to tune out a little bit, right?
I don't
they don't
see
care.
any data there. I mean, I don't see that at all.
The Sunday numbers are harder to come by, but the big games are always going to, like, you're going to have a big Sunday game. You're going to have the Monday. Those are always going to rate big, right? And I just feel like you get to the middle of the season, it's in October, and there's a little bit, or I guess November at this point, and there's just a little bit. Now, the good news is
I don't see that.
The turkey hits the table and it quickly ramps back up. I'm telling you. So when you get to 20 though, like, even
listen,
18,
forget the 20. But if you add, like, one of the things that they will do, I came up with this years ago. I think I even ran it by you, the Gargano plan. I had double bye weeks. I ran it until the first week of March, and starting the same time, not starting on Labor Day. You run it till the first. The Super Bowl is in March, and dude, what's the difference? And I don't understand the saturation. The season is still the shortest season of any of the major sports by far. Yeah, I mean, baseball starts in March now, and it ends in November.
Baseball's too long, but whatever. That's a different conversation.
No, but the NBA starts in October. Nobody wants. Hockey starts in October, and it ends in June. End of June. Yeah. So the NFL is still ending, even if you started in September and ended in March, or first week of March. The season is still the season. It's not overwhelming.
When is your combine? When is your combine? When is your free agency and start of league
pushing
year?
Everything back.
When are your off-season workouts and stuff? Like, there's a calendar.
And by the way, here's what you're doing. You're eliminating the preseason.
I know. Well, if you want to eliminate the preseason entirely and start it earlier, that's
no, you're going to eliminate all preseason games. Preseason football means nothing. It means nothing. The games you're going to do work.
Well, that's how they're selling 18
workouts. You'll do joint.
That's how they're selling 18. They're taking away one preseason game. Now, I think there are guys that have played their way in the jobs in the preseason. You want to say that forget it. They got to do it in practice, or they got to do it in these combined practices or scrimmages.
Right, you're going to do joint practices.
They got to do it then. And I'm okay. I'm okay with losing a preseason game. I don't care about that. I'm not going to sit here.
First of all, why even play a preseason game? Why play any preseason game? You have you know as well as I do. You get nothing out of that.
I don't know about
you get more out of joint practices. I mean, dude, I've talked to Andy about this a million times. You get way more out of joint practices than you do out of a preseason game.
I've talked to Mike Tomlin and Tom Coughlin about these kinds of things. Tomlin loves the preseason game. They love to go through the machinations of a game day, right? To get that's why they used to play them through the first half and come back and start the so you have that feeling of halftime, come back, you get a series, and then you're out. So you're going to have different opinions. They don't even do that
anymore. They don't even do that anymore.
Some teams do that.
Well, most of them don't. It's rare that you see a starting quarterback in the second half these days.
A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't play. I mean, Sean McVay doesn't play his guys, period.
I know.
Right? Like some guys, you're going to get differing opinions on that. Just like we're getting differing opinions on the saturation point of the schedule. I think it's too much, and I think
There's no such thing as too much football.
Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy.
It's the greatest. You're just looking selfishly for time off.
I don't get time off. I'm not off in March anyway. That doesn't bother me.
No, but it pushes the schedule down. So it means it shrinks your time off.
No, it doesn't. No, by your calculations and your plan and your standards, you don't care about the combine. Just do it in middle March, combine, free agency, right into everything.
Yeah, you just push everything. You just push them all. You're pushing everything back 2 weeks.
I listen. I also happen to believe that they're still human beings coaching this game and evaluating this game and playing this game, and they need some time to get to themselves and their families, which are not the most balanced lifestyles anyway. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about
teasing. About
First
of all,
kids.
I'm teasing about that.
I'm talking about GM's kids.
Second of all, you walked into my trap. All right. I read a story. Listen to this. About the future of football. And you have this, Bree, to play for Mike. This is the future of football. Bree's going to play it for you, and I want you to watch it closely. I couldn't believe this story. I was like, oh, my God, this would be the worst thing ever. But it was foretold. It was written and shown. You have it?
Can you just tell me?
No. Watch. This is the future as told by the Jetsons.
Yeah, well, they didn't have to spend time with their kids. Rosie was taking care of everything at home.
He knew Rosie right
good
away.
Rosie pull.
Oh, it's a great Rosie pull. I read this story, all kidding aside. The story was about how these robots, you see how they've excelled over the years and will be taking human form, and that the future of football will be in these robots. So you'll be able to program them like, I'll have the Dan Marino bot at quarterback.
It's called NASCAR. All right, you want to watch that? Watch that. Okay. Like it doesn't hurt the car. I mean, listen, I know there's guys in the car, but it doesn't hurt the car to get a little fender bender. You got there's an element of putting your body on the line, of pushing yourself past what you think you're going to do. Or what you think you're
really, truthfully, the story was about how they'll phase out human beings and robots will be the new football, the players.
Well, then we'll play 20 games, and then we'll do that. Then you don't need the combine because there's just no reason. The scout knew you just go to what do they call those things? Conventions and stuff for trade shows for new parts. Guys are nuts. Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. Nick Sirianni's contract. Do you have any details?
No, I think they're intentionally keeping that one vague. Why? I don't know. But I think they're nobody has length even on that yet.
No. And this is my question to you. Yeah. I believe that the reason why there is no details on that contract is the length is only probably a 2-year extension. He's got 1 year left, and they added 2.
That would greatly surprise me. I'll make a call today. Somebody was supposed to call me back on that, and I didn't hear back. So I'll make a call today. I'll see what I can find out for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Howie did not get. Usually they'll give the GM and the head coach after they win a Super Bowl concurrent extensions. Howie did not. Howie's up after this year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No.
He's
got 2 years. He's got 2 years left.
Okay. Last extension I saw, I don't get too tied up in this stuff because if you want to fire a guy, you'll fire a guy.
Right.
So a lot of times a coach or a GM gets an extension for, and they'll bake in, and this is something they've talked about at league meetings, that extra year, knowing they're not paying the extra year.
Right.
But the Cowboys are one of the teams that are Jerry's got to watch those pennies, Jerry. He's got to make sure he doesn't get shorted. So a lot of times, coaching extensions and how much longer they have, I don't get too caught up in that because it's either you fire them or not. Now, the one thing I have learned though, and to your point, is Jeff Fisher comes to mind, where it was billed as this 4-year extension, but there was only one guaranteed year on it. So it wound up being he had no more security than we thought he did. And then he wound up getting fired a couple games into the season. There's been a couple of those recently that have been billed a certain way, and we're used to them being fully guaranteed, and they're not. I just at this point, a short-term Band-Aid extension for Nick doesn't make much sense. I'll get back to you on that though.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
So Howie, his deal runs through this year. Runs through 2025.
Sure, because
he signed a 3-year extension in 2022. That's according. That's an ESPN article.
I don't know, dude. Because I was talking to somebody. I think
right. There may have been either. I don't think that one was misreported. I think that one was announced by the team. But there may have been another one along the way between that just didn't get. Because the player salaries are on file. We have all that. The coaches and GMs are not accessible to the likes of us.
Mike, would you be surprised if Nick is a middle of the road salary coach guy at this point?
Would I be surprised? No, no, I wouldn't. Just because there have been some big deals that have been handed out. Harbaugh got a big one. I think he had more. I forget the number. Michigan came strong when they tried to keep him, and I think the Chargers beat them. So Harbaugh got a big one recently. Who else got a big
Ben
one
Johnson's
recently?
got $13 million, I think.
Yeah, but I think Harbaugh was higher than that. I'm trying to think of who like the big numbers are. I don't know. I don't even know where Andy is, to be honest with you. Again, this is not publicly. There are people that are in the business that know and have this kind of stuff, and But if he's over 10 but not at the top, wouldn't surprise me at all. No.
I mean, I'm comfortable with double digits. If they're paying him like 6 or 8, that would be it.
I don't think they're double digits.
No way. No way it's that low. No way.
I don't think it's double digits.
He doesn't think it's double digits.
And it doesn't?
No.
Wow. Then that's definitely middle of the road because I know guys are way above. Liam Cohen got a huge deal. Liam Cohen got a monster deal from the Jaguars.
I mean, maybe he got a big deal with with only short years and not the guaranteed years.
Who? Cohen?
No. Nick.
Oh, Nick, you're saying. Yeah.
It's just my read on it. Just my read on it.
But it doesn't affect, like, there's no salary cap, so it doesn't affect any. Who cares?
Yeah,
right?
I know.
The only way I care is if the coach goes, well, I'm pissed. That's a low number. And screw this place, screw this owner. It start to get some bad vibes out there. That's the only way I care.
I don't think Nick is like that. I don't.
Right. I know. Yeah. I'm saying that's the only way I would care.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're a fan of a team and you go, well, they're not paying my coach enough. Doesn't matter. Or they're paying my coach too much. Doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the bottom line when it comes to putting the roster together.
Hey, why do you think the Eagles only got? We didn't talk about the schedule. How come you thought how come the Eagles didn't get the prime? They only got one Sunday night, one Monday night prime time.
Only one Sunday, one Monday. How many?
They got like a Saturday game. They got the Black Friday game.
Thursdays.
And they got the Thursday opener.
And then there's another Thursday game, right?
Right, Giants.
I mean, those are considered primetime slots, right? Like that's
that Saturday's a prime. It was considered a prime.
It's considered a standalone slot. Yeah, it's not considered it for the sake of like you can only have so many. Those are the night games, which I don't even remember what the cap is now, 6 or 7. But they're considered premium slots that they put the team in. So I didn't look at the schedule and go, oh boy, they didn't give the respect to the like that. No, they put them in those prime locations.
The Cowboys got even more than the Eagles. I mean, I know it's Dallas, but I don't know, dude. I don't see it. And I don't. We've been arguing internally. A lot of people here think the Cowboys are the second best team in the division. I still think it's Washington.
Listen, Washington is in for a season.
Yeah.
They are at extreme rest disadvantage this year. They've got 4 games against teams coming off a bye. One of which they're coming off a bye as well. So that gives them 3. And then one of them, it's a Monday night game. So they get at least an extra day to get to prepare. And then just the way that they're structured with the short weeks on top of that, Washington's got a tough slate.
I know the hot take is Washington takes a step back.
Yeah. When it could be. Now listen, a step back could be 9-8.
Right.
Still in the playoffs and still the second best team in the division. The Cowboys are, to me, I got a tight window on Washington. I got them around that 9-8 mark. I don't see them winning 13. I don't see them winning only 6, right? So that you can tighten that window. Cowboys are a bit of a wild card, right? They could be bad. They could be really good. Brian Schottenheimer was a hot head coaching candidate 15 years ago. I think he's actually probably more prepared to be a head coach now than he was back then. So there's still talent on that team. There's still a good quarterback on that team. I'm not looking at them as bringing up the rear. I think the Giants are in massive trouble, huge trouble, and they're better. They're better than they were the last couple of years, and I don't think it's going to matter because they're still not right at the quarterback position. Unless I'm massively underrating Jackson Dart, who's not going to start week 1, unless I'm massively underrating him. Which, by the way, that goes back to my preseason. That's one of the things that can happen in a preseason. A quarterback who's drafted but not necessarily expected to play right away can just light it up in the preseason. Yeah. Carson Wentz did it. Russell Wilson did it. So there's some preseason value. Right back at you.
Wow. You can do that and join practice and look great. So last thing, anything with Rodgers?
I was just talking to somebody before I got on with you guys. It's like we keep saying, oh, every indication is it really? Every indication he's going to be a Steeler? Every? Maybe a bunch. I don't know about every. So I till that happens. Like, why wouldn't he have signed already? Why wouldn't he have signed already?
I know.
What's the holdup?
Right.
Like, I got stuff going on in my personal life. I'm not going to be there for the spring. Great. Could you sign this paper right here, please?
Right. DocuSign. Here you go. You'd sign it anywhere you want. You could be in Timbuktu in the hole.
In his mind, considered a bad look if I sign and I'm not there versus if I don't sign and I'm not there. It's like, well, at least he didn't sign yet. But that's still a bad look. You got this team. Like Cam Hayward 2 months ago was saying, let's go already, buddy. And now Cam Hayward's the one saying, everybody relax. So
interesting. Relax.
Hey, while we got him, what do you think about Tockett, head coach of the Flyers?
Hockey.
I like it. It feels Jeff Lurie is now addressing the media out there in Minnesota, so we'll see what he has to say. No, that's a report from what he's saying inside the room. There you go, good report. Diana Rossini of The Athletic's got a good report out there. Tockett, I do like that. I like that there's more alignment here with Jonesy and with Briere. Like, if you're gonna do this, have it be your guy. Have it be guys that you see eye to eye with. This feels more like it than the previous regime. I still can't believe that that Torts got the extra year. I thought he was done the year before. So I do like Tockett. At least, give it your run at it the way that you see it as a regime. So let's see. He had the one really good year with the Canucks, right? Otherwise, the results are what, man? But this feels like it's got the chance. But enough already. Like, I feel like we're stuck in this, like, oh, they're getting there. It's getting, like, come on, we need to compete here. Come on, guys.
Yeah, you get 2 years. You got one more year of this. Then next summer is when the free agent summer hits. So you got 2 more years.
Great. Well, at least I've got football through the month of March to keep me company.
Football.
Come on, President's Day, end of President's Day. We all get off on the President's Day. It's perfect. I don't want any further than that.
Thank you. Wait, I had to wait for you now to come to my defense. Like, where were you in the middle of that?
I don't want to interrupt you guys. Going back and forth.
It's like Happy Gilmore. Where were you on that one? Bleepity bleep.
All right there, Happy. We love you. You're the best, brother.
Happy learned to putt. Actually, I haven't yet. I got to go work on that. See ya.
Great stuff, brother. Best of the girls. Thank you. Here he is, Mikey Garafolo, chiming in. Let's take care of some business,
the
shall we?
voice of reason with the schedule. All right, let's talk about beer. Let's talk about light beer, because, if you want to stay nice and svelte with a waistline like mine, you got to drink some light beers. You can't be drinking those heavy beers.
VG's a Mayan guy.
Yeah.
Some people say mine. Like mine. He's a Mayan, 2-syllable Mayan.
Yeah. But you want a nice waistline like mine.
He always said, that's a Northeast Philly thing. Mayan.
I'm proud to rep the Northeast Juniata Park.
I know. That's Mayan thing. You say Mayan. Yeah. Like it's the Mayan civilization.
Yeah. So if you want a waistline like mine, drink some light beers every now and then. And we got the one for you. Pabst Light. Tastes great. Refreshing, crisp, good little Pilsner. So Pabst Light is the new light modern beer from Pabst Brewing Company. It's 96 calories, 3.5 grams of carbs, and full of crisp, refreshing flavor. They use high-quality ingredients so you can get that high-quality beer at a smart, approachable price. Retains the fun, independent spirit of Pabst, and is what Pabst is known for, and it's light, which at our age, light beer is important. So learn more about the new Pabst Light at pabstlight.com. Drink responsibly, please. And you must be 21
Tasty beer.
or older. Yeah, I like it. I find it very crisp.
Yeah.
While we're at it, let's talk about some flooring. A good room starts
Empire
today. A good room starts with a good floor. Just like your favorite team needs a home court, field ice advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage, and Empire Today can help you get it. Empire Today, they got flooring experts. They're dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. So you don't have to go to those big box stores and feel like you're by yourself, confused, can't get any help. And if you do finally find someone, they have no idea what they're talking about because they're not flooring people. Empire Today, they live and breathe flooring, and they'll be with you every step of the way. So it's a whole different ball game, making your world way easier. And they're flooring experts. They come they bring the showroom right to your house with their virtual digital designer. got a laptop. They take a couple pictures of your room and pick out some flooring samples, and you can see how it looks in your room before you install it to see if you like it. With Empire Today, you also get clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing, and you can schedule installation, check this out, as soon as the next day if your flooring is in stock. That's pretty unheard of. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. PHLY listeners, they receive a $350 discount if you use the code PHLY. You heard it right, $350 discount simply with the code PHLY. Restrictions do apply. Visit EmpireToday/PHLY for full details.
All right, talking about the Eagles, the schedule, and even the Rat Packers.
Oof.
All right, listen to this. Thanks to our friends at Philly Sports Trips, PHLY is going to host a fan giveaway sweepstakes that will send one lucky viewer,
All right.
one of our fine viewers, on a trip to Lambeau Field.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you and a buddy.
You got to bring some signs.
All right,
Yeah.
we invade Lambeau.
Yeah.
So you and a buddy get to go
Got to
to see
represent.
Birds Packers.
Yeah.
For contest rules, eligibility requirements, and to enter, visit allphly.com/PST fan sweeps. Terms and conditions apply. allphly.com/PST fan sweeps to enter. Check out Philly Sports Trips for the ultimate fan experience, including hassle-free travel packages to watch your favorite Philly teams on the road with everything from game tickets to tailgates included, whether it's football, baseball, and beyond. Travel like a champ with the crew that bleeds 4 for 4. Learn more at phillysportstrips.com.
Yeah, that's a mission now. You got to represent. When you win that, you got to hold it down.
You got it, especially now that they're our enemy, Packers.
They're
All from
they're
Wisconsin.
They're climbing the power rankings of the enemies, for sure. They might be 2 now with me.
Packers are behind the Cowboys. No, we can't be behind the Cowboys.
No,
The
they're 2.
Giants.
I might squeeze them in between the Giants. I'm taking this personal, this tush push stuff.
Well, they'll never beat Dallas and Washington. I mean, Dallas and the Giants.
Right now, maybe I'm irrational, but right now, I hate the Packers. I hate everything about them.
Yeah, I know, but your division you hate more than anybody.
I'm just saying what I feel
And plus,
now.
you have a lot of KC hate.
I do hate KC.
Yeah. You know, that's a big deal.
All right, they're 3rd for me. KC's still number 2.
Over the Giants?
Right now, the Giants just stink.
Yeah, but still, though, dude. The
Yeah.
Giants. The Giants. Are you kidding me?
I know. I'm irrational. It's an emotional day. It's the end of the tush push. I'm refreshing Twitter, looking for
I know.
the final
It's over.
nail in the
One more
coffin.
montage. Bring one more montage
Look at
today.
just look at the beauty
I
of it.
want to see it. I want to see
They act like it's just a bunch of guys
the
just
brotherly
falling
show.
around. There's a skill involved. They act like it's just
No, all
nonsense.
kidding aside, the Eagles have practiced that thing
Yeah.
over and over and over. They practice that thing hard. Look at it.
It's a
Look
thing
at
of-
that.
thing of beauty.
It really is.
It is.
Look at that thing.
All the years they've been playing football.
Unstoppable.
Mm.
Look at it. Oh, I'm going to miss it.
Yeah.
I love you, Tush Push.
Yeah, they're taking that from us.
Look at that. There's Jalen. Touchdown.
You should take Frankie Louvu away from us. Ban him for
Yeah.
that nonsense he did in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that was great, though. Look at that. They'll go high. You
Can't
go
do
low.
it. Yeah.
You can't beat us.
Can't stop
You
it.
can't stop it.
Can't stop
You can't stop the shove. Oh, my God. That's it. That's the big story for
bummer
today.
day.
All right. And then Phillies. What do you got tonight?
What do you mean? Phil's win by 2.5 tonight.
With Walker on the mound.
Yeah, they're still gonna Walker. He's better than any Rockies pitcher.
All right.
I think they go, man.
I like it. All right, let's go back in the day.
All right, we're going back. I got to figure out. This is 24 years ago. We're going back.
All right.
It's Phillies related. On 24 years ago yesterday, I'm a day behind. They released their first bobblehead. Can you guess who it is?
24 years ago.
2001. The Phillies do their
Tony?
first bobblehead.
Abreu? Chilling.
Pat the Bat.
Pat Burrell bobblehead?
And it doesn't look anything like him. Bobbleheads have gotten way better.
Oh, my God. That's a
In
bad
recent
bobblehead.
Yeah. It was a brickhead.
That's a bad looking face.
Yeah. I mean, it's the early stages. First one.
He looks like a grandmother.
He does look like a grandma.
He looks like a Nona.
Yeah.
With the big teeth, like the fake teeth.
Yeah. Hey, before we get out of here, can I show you this house that's for sale in the area? It's quick.
Yeah. Well, you have a real estate thing you want?
Yeah, your mind's going to be blown by this house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I run that pebble, jump in shit. You hear this beat?
Every room.
Oh, the Eagles.
Every room is Eagles.
I read about this. This is the Eagles house.
Yeah, dude. How awesome is this house? Every room.
Where is it?
I don't know. I tried. I couldn't even find a price on it.
Look at
It's
that.
beautiful.
That's a great pool. It's a nice house.
Yeah, dude.
The Eagle house. Now's the time to sell the real estate. It's at an all-time high. We don't know where it's at. How can you not know where it's at?
I don't know. I got to do some. I got to do
Come
some
on,
digging.
man.
I don't know. Let me someone in the chat's fired up with where it's at.
All right.
No.
I got one thing for you. Oreo is going to release a beverage, an Oreo cookie beverage.
Like a chocolate milk? Like a cookie
It's going to be an
chocolate milk?
Oreo flavored beverage.
Yeah, I'm in.
You're in?
I love Oreos.
Yeah?
I could house
You're
a
in on
pack.
the Oreo
Yeah,
beverage?
totally house a pack of Oreos. Yeah, dude, I'll drink Oreos, yeah. The cookies and cream ice cream's great. Why wouldn't Oreos be great?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess that's smashed up.
Yeah, I'll do a cookies and cream milkshake. I'll do a drink of that.
Are you in on that, Bree?
Yeah, why not? Sounds good.
Yeah.
Filthy McNasty with me. Packers moved up right below the Cowboys, 100%.
Over the Giants?
This is war.
I mean,
This is
Washington-
war.
Washington's a new enemy.
This is war, man. They're taking it from us.
All right. Oh, man. Well, Washington. Tomorrow, from the editor's desk, goes to win totals.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So we're going to do a whole big thing, right? We're going to
Yes.
do the whole thing. So we're looking forward to it. That's going to do it for us. Bree, excellent job, Bree.
Wow. Great job. Apparently, Lori just spoke for over half an hour. He just sat down, Diana Rossini. Lori just sat down after a speech that lasted over half an hour, giving way to Jason Kelsey, who will talk about the safety of the play.
Yeah, they're all going to talk about it, and then in the end, they're going to
Unanimous.
Thanks, guys.
29-1.
But yeah, you're out. Yeah. The Tush Push, no more. Yeah. Everybody have a great, wonderful day. We love you, and we'll see you in the morning.
We all silly like the mayor.